welcome to my weekly Facebook Live show. I'm Jen Burson. I'm the founder of Generation PR and the creator of the Profitable PR Pros community. And apparently I'm the alpha in the house to this dog because she is refusing to go outside unless I go with her. It's raining. So anyway, let me know who's here. If you're watching on replay, keep us posted here. We'd love to know who's checking in. Today's topic is one that it literally was like a resounding, you hear that? That's the dog. Like a resounding, unified response where every single person felt burnout. And obviously we knew that. I mean, it's a very rare, very chill person who would go through a whole year, especially the last 2 years and how stressful it's been, and not feel a sense of burnout. But we wanted to support in a way that would help people. Hold on one second. Kev, can you come get her? Lola, Daddy's coming. We wanted, she's just like pawing at the door up here. Go, Daddy's coming. Sorry, guys. She won't go outside in the rain. We're trying to figure out how to make her more comfortable. Hi, Nelson. An hour. Anyway, so we're just going to talk about burnout as a PR pro. And I think, there's a lot of ways that people talk about, bye, Lola, that people talk about burnout after the fact. We're here to try to help you set up your business and your life for the ideal situation where you're gonna not you're gonna prevent burnout. Sorry, I get a little distracted when there's like chaos in my office, which is exactly what's happening right now. Did you leave her up here? Sure, he is. So we are gonna teach you or talk about ways that we can prevent burnout. So it's like a preemptive strategy so that you can set up your business the right way and be in the ideal situation for you. It's like, I feel like we're all really putting in a ton of work in our businesses. And if it's going to stress you out and make you crazy and make you kind of hate life, then I don't want that for you. So let's build a business that will make you feel lit up and like just excited every single day. Take this dog outside. Ryan. Oh my God. Kev! He opened the door, let the dog out, and then shut the door. Okay. This is why I'm frustrated. My kid begged for a puppy. Begged for... Hi, Kelly. Thank you for those beautiful flowers, Kelly. Do you hear this? Like chaos. So he begged for this puppy, and we got him a puppy, and he will not interact with her. Will not interact with her. Oh my God. You guys, I'm on Facebook Live. This is kind of an unprofessional situation we're dealing with over here. I know. It's infuriating. It's so frustrating. Anyway, so that's really annoying, but yeah, no. So the kids are home. I sent my other one out on a sleepover with my bestie's son, his bestie, and they're willing to take him for most of the day, which is nice because it's raining. All he can do is be on devices. Puppy life. Oh, hi, Claire. It's so nice to see you. Yeah, but the crazy thing is he doesn't ever want to do anything with this dog. He just want to play with her. It's insane. And Nelson, yes, I did see that. That is so exciting. That's amazing. We are in a very similar situation where we signed 2 new clients. One started on Monday and the other one is starting January 1st. Both have signed contracts, close to 5-figure retainers for each contract. So you guys, things are bouncing back. I just feel like we're getting more qualified inquiries and we're converting more of our proposals into leads to landed. So it's like we have a whole program called Lead to Landed. We're converting more of our leads into landed clients right now, which I got to say, we had kind of a dry spell from April until probably November, where Yeah, no, it's awesome. We're so excited. A new skincare collection. I have some samples here, and a baby monitor, like a really cool tech, tech enhanced baby monitor, really good. Hi, Gail. So I'm excited because we get to kick off the year with some good, retainer income. But and we still have our existing clients, but we want to, build consistent, predictable, recurring retainer revenue, which is our entire goal of this whole world of content we have created for you. So it's funny, like I normally on a Facebook Live would be so embarrassed for it to be like a total shit show like it's been, but I know all of you and all of you are so forgiving of me. And I see people coming on and off and it's like, well, they're expecting perfection and this ain't it. This is just like a sort of a casual thing, but I'm so excited for you too, Nelson. Great work. That's huge. That's a ton of revenue for your business. Big deal. And it just shows me also that Nelson's in Canada, in Toronto, and it just, and on Toronto, yeah. And it just goes to show that I think things are turning around and, I don't know what Omicron's going to do, but I think brands are starting and companies are starting to reinvest here. So burnout, let's talk about this because we know that when you're an entrepreneur and you're doing all the things, so maybe you're handling clients, developing pitches, developing media lists, all of it, growing your business, there's so much on your plate. And I know that that is a recipe for serious burnout. And especially right now with the holiday season, the end of the year, and all of that coming to a head, it is kind of the time of year where everybody just feels totally pushed to the limit. So it's a good time to kind of take a step back and think about how you can prevent burnout so that you can set yourself and your business up for a healthy, happy, and successful new year. Like I said, these are ways that we can help you strategize to build a business that will be a more positive experience for you. Okay. So before we get into the tips, because I think I have 5, we're going to talk about what burnout actually means. So it's what happens when we experience a ton of stress over a long period of time, or even like a very condensed, heavy period of time where you're doing a lot of really intense long hours, all of that. And then it shows up in ways where it impacts us emotionally, mentally, even physically. I mean, it is stress, but it's that stress where you can no longer handle it. Like I'll tell my husband, I'm at the end of my rope. Like that's my way of saying to him, there's not one more thing I can take on right now. I'm burnt out and I'm at the end of my rope. And he knows, okay, it's time to step in and take some things off her plate. So there's a lot of ways you can know that you're starting to be burnt out. It's like that physical, mental feeling of exhaustion. You start to be irritable, really upset at anything very minor. It's just you don't have that, that kind of emotional bandwidth to handle things. Hey, Natasha, talking about burnout, I'm sure you can relate to this topic. Natasha is battling COVID. She is immunized and boosted, and she is battling COVID for the 3rd time. She is immunocompromised, and it is no joke, you guys. Burnout equals my middle name. So, and she's, finding the energy to work when she can, but she's shared her experience with it so that we can all kind of understand what that reality is. But I'm so happy that you're here. The other thing when you're in burnout is there is this sense of dread. It's like, tell me if this resonates with any of you. It's like you get the email from that one client where you just cannot deal with them and you feel a sense of dread, or the phone rings and it's someone that you probably should have a conversation with, or you have to talk to them about something and you do not have the bandwidth Nelson is saying, what can we do to help you, Natasha? That's awesome. This community is the best. That feeling of dread, that also accompanies burnout and imposter syndrome. When you're burnt out, you're like, what am I doing? I can't handle this. Why did I bite off more than I can chew? Clearly, I'm not equipped to handle this, or I'm not as experienced as I thought to handle this. That's imposter syndrome. And it's reasonable. It's just that feeling of burnout creeping in a way. Oh my gosh, look at that. In the middle of the night, she had a random burst of energy. Emailed a bunch of broadcast producers. That's so funny. Well, they'll see you. That's good. I'm glad you're optimizing your energy. That's actually one of my tips here. So, yeah. Anyway, imposter syndrome, dread, being just mentally and physically exhausted. That is burnout. So, day 14 of Natasha's COVID. It's crazy. So we're going to talk about 5 tips. So we're setting it up moving forward, and it's being strategic about how you're building your business so that you can avoid or prevent this. Are you taking her out? Okay. I taught my puppy to ring a bell when she has to go to the bathroom. It's the cutest thing ever. She'll like paw at the bell at the door, bump her nose into it, and we can hear it throughout the house. So she just rang the bell. So cute. So we'll open the door, although it's raining and she doesn't want to go out. Okay, so 5 tips. Tip number 1, you're going to try to fill each day with joy. I know, it's so cute. Oh my God, it's the cutest thing ever. To fill each day with joy. So it's like loving what you do. And that means not doing the things that you don't love to do. So this is why we talk about niching down. Only work with clients that light you up. If you have clients on your roster that make you feel a sense of dread when you get those emails or the phone call from the client or the meetings, start thinking about how you can reframe it for them or get them off your roster, because that will build up and get you to a place where you're burnt out. Ugh, she wants to come in here now. So you want to love the work you're doing. You want to love the clients you're working with. This is why we always say niche down and only work with clients that totally light you up. I want you to love what you do every single day. That's how I feel, even almost 17 years later. But that's why we really focus on this inside the Agency Accelerator. It's to help you avoid burnout, building your business strategically by niching down and being really intentional with who you serve and how you serve them. You guys, do you hear this? You guys, you're ruining mommy's life, daddy. Thanks, Kev. Anyway, so, this isn't something I'm going to say, go take a hot bath and everything will be okay. This is like long-term strategic planning to build something that makes you feel energized and not zapped. So try to fill each day with joy, meaning you love what you do, taking a little break, trying to reframe your energy. Sometimes I'll turn on music and just sort of dance like an idiot around the house. And that's okay. Nobody can see me except now the dog is like, what are you doing? But that makes my energy level go up. And I also just love the clients we're working with. And I'm super excited about the new clients. And it's because they're in niches that I love. Beauty and cosmetics. It's a skincare brand. And I love the founder. She was a former MD and she started this, skincare company, and had a similar conversation with her dad about him saying, what the hell are you doing? Why did I pay for medical school? Which is what my dad said when I said, I'm going to start a PR agency. He goes, why did you go to law school? Why did we, pay for law school? And this is flaky and, scary to them. Right. So, but we have that connection. I'm really excited about her. And I know we'll really enjoy working together. I got a really good feeling from that client. So love what you do, niche down, work with clients you love. Do work with the clients that you love. If you don't love SEO, don't do it. If you don't love writing newsletters, don't do it. If you don't like writing, oh my God, she's so fabulous. If you don't like writing social media content and creating content and having that feeling of consistent stuff hanging over your head, I don't like that feeling. I don't like that at all. That's how I felt when I was an attorney billing hours. I just felt like there was something hanging over my head every single day and it was never done. That's what social media makes me feel like. I won't do it. So that's how I avoid burnout. And that's what I want you to start thinking about. What do you love? What lights you up? What kinds of clients? What kinds of services? And then just slowly get niche down, get strategic, and just ditch the other stuff. Okay. And so every day you feel filled with joy and excitement and passion for what you're doing. I know it sounds really simple, but it's a strategic, intentional thing that you're doing to build your business. So tip number 2, also build a schedule that will serve you. So that's what I love about being your own PR pro, is that you can set your own hours. That is why it is ideal for moms. I ran my business while I had 2 newborns that I was nursing, exclusively breastfeeding. My older son for almost 13 months. My younger son, he couldn't take the milk anymore, but probably 6 months. And I was able to work. I was able to continue to earn income. I decided the level of energy I had to put into my business. And during that period, it was about maintaining and just keeping where I was. But working for yourself, setting your own hours, that's really ideal about what we do. I mean, look, Natasha got a little burst of energy in the middle of the night and sent some pitches. You can even boomerang those emails to go out in the morning. So maybe clients don't see that you're working all hours, but it's, for me also, it's setting a schedule where I have downtime if I want. So I typically don't work, or at least I don't make myself available on Fridays. So that's my time to catch up, to get organized, to Natasha calls them CEO days, working on your business. She does them Mondays. I take it as like a chill time. If I have errands to run or things that I need to catch up on, that's what I'll do on Fridays. Sometimes for me, it's recording the podcast or building out content for the program. That's what I do Fridays. So there's no meetings on my schedule. There's no client calls. There's no conversing with the team. I love that. I just had a call with one of my one-on-one coaching students, and she doesn't work past 2 p.m. and she doesn't want to work Thursdays or Fridays. And she's building her business to do that. And obviously she has a large team and she's making tremendous revenue, like more than 200,000 a month, because she has niche down. Also, she is the go-to expert in her niche, has dozens and dozens of clients. None of them care that they're all competing because they're going to her for her expertise and her contacts. That's leverage right there. And she has a team that is executing for her, and she has built her business that way so she can have late afternoons, Thursdays and Fridays off because she has 3 small children. That's what it's all about. That's what you can do, right? No, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. She is just also a total go-getter, and like, you give her marching orders and she will text you an hour later and say it's done. What do I do next? So she's worked hard to build it that way, but she set it up. That's how I set up my business too, so that I could take a break and be a new mom with babies. That's how my business was 5 years in progress before I was able to do that. Not before I was able to do that, but when I had kids. I had my business for 5 years. It was set up like that. So think about what you want your ideal schedule to look like. You can back into your hours and say, you know what, in order for me to avoid burnout, I can't be on at all times. I cannot be on, and that means that I have to choose when my energy is there to support what I'm doing and when I feel like I need to take a break, and catch it in advance. So for me, it's like, I know that weekends are going to be full on because my kids are home, we're running all around, and I want a little day to myself. So I take Fridays, and that has really helped me avoid that feeling of just never climbing my way out. And the other thing too is structuring your days around your energy level. So what works best for you? This stubborn dog does not want to go out. I mean, there's a brand new leash, but it's really long. It's for training. It's in the bedroom. It's wrapped up in a plastic. It's pink and black. It's crazy. Sorry. Think about when you have your best energy. For me, it's mornings. I wake up, kids are off to school. I feel pumped, clear-headed, energized. If you sit down to reply to emails mindlessly, you are wasting your energy. You're wasting your bandwidth. You can go through your email triage really quickly, but spending time going through newsletters and client nonsense or chains that you're on that are just like back and forth where you're not really needed, that is a waste of your bandwidth. Quickly triage, get back to clients immediately with something like, I'll get back to you later today, or I see your email, just wanted to let you know. Focus then on what you need to do, and that's using your energy for focused work, getting in your flow state, creating strategies, doing your writing, whatever it is that you need to focus on. That's when you should do it. Not in the morning like me, whenever you feel your energy. Sometimes it's at night when you put your kids to bed and you get that second wind in the middle of the night like Natasha does. She doesn't have kids, but she felt her second wind. I used to have a second wind after I put my kids to bed. Now I do not. Hi. So I do it in the mornings, and that's where you build that is where you build your best workday, is around that energy. If you feel like you have energy right after lunch and then you crash at 3:00, first of all, you should examine what you're eating and find foods that energize you. Separate discussion. Drink a lot of water, but you should time your day to reflect your energy level. Start to pay attention to it if you never have, but that will also mean that I have certain things that I do at certain times. I'm always here at 11 a.m. because I know it gives me time to do a little bit of work, so I'm clear-headed in the morning, hopefully get my family situated if they're home, take a shower or put on a little makeup, and then have the bandwidth to sit here and still have the energy. If I jumped on at 1, I'd be like, because I'm so tired. And Samantha's saying, do you have someone who manages your email box? For certain things, yes, I do. Customer service on this side of the business, Miranda does it. And she's doing outreach to specific people that we need for things and follow-ups. And if we get new client inquiries and it's not really for me, we have a process where she'll manage it. She's in my Gmail, but she doesn't work on my agency side other than referring out new business leads to our community for our Agency Accelerator Plus community. And I will literally forward something that I don't want to deal with to somebody on my team and just say, I can't handle it. And actually our shorthand, and Kelly, I think, knows this, and Natasha knows it, for can't handle is candle. I'll just be like, candle. Cannot handle this, candle. And sometimes we'll just emoji a candle. Shorthand, can't handle, cannot handle this, don't want to deal. I don't want to get involved in this in any way. Forwarded it with a candle emoji. And that's how I roll out. We call it the tuck and roll. I just get out of the things I don't want to do. So candle, and then I'll send it to somebody. So yeah, I do have Miranda, like anytime somebody emails, it looks like it's coming from me, but it's from her, and she'll sign it saying, this is Miranda, Jen's integrator. But she's in my Gmail, and we sort of have a triage for where messages go. That's the other thing you can do, is like sort your Gmail inbox. Definitely use, Boomerang or one of those other apps. Yeah. Right. You got to have a way to tuck and roll out of the things you don't love doing. And for me, it's email, forward it, candle, and everybody knows, God, we got you. We'll handle it. So focus on your energy level and really pay attention to that and work into that. It could even be days of the month where you're not going to be feeling great. Typically women, listen, we have energy levels around how we're feeling on a monthly basis. So, plan around that if you can be strategic. But for me, it's like, I know my energy is high in the mornings. I know that after 3:30, when my kids come home from school, I'm not going to have a lot of focused attention. So that's when I'll do like little easy stuff, like replying to quick emails, simple stuff that I can just bang out with not a lot of focus. So, let me see. This is the other one. Okay. Also boundaries. Huge one. I can't believe I almost skipped past it because I rolled up. But if you want to spend time with your family or take time in the evening for yourself or have nights and weekends where it's just off limits, you need to set your clear boundaries when you're on and when you're off work. And one of the factors that leads to burnout is this extreme pressure from demanding clients having access to you all hours of the day and nights and weekends. So maybe you don't give them your cell phone number. Maybe you meet over Zoom and they don't have your number to text you. And you let them know in advance, I'll reply to your emails when I'm next available in my office, so that they start to get the sense that you are on it and you're going to get your work done during normal business hours. And beyond that, they don't have access to you. So you need to let them know kind of right from the start. You're not going to be like, well, I will not be responding to you and these are my only available hours. They get it from when they're hearing from you, or if it's at the end of the day, I just wanted to let you know, I got your message. I will get back to you tomorrow when I'm back in the office or when I'm back online. Okay. If you work from home or whatever, back online or whatever. So that they get the sense and awareness they are not going to be bothering you. And I'll tell you, I don't have clients that bother me nights and weekends at all. They don't expect to hear from me. It's been way more than a decade. And I'm just like, nope, I'm out. This is not how I want my business to be. I want to be with my kids. I want to take my phone, tuck it in a drawer, be present and checked in to them for at least, let's say, I know it's going to sound like not a lot of time, like 15 minutes, where you're just eye level and interested in what they're interested in and being present and just being mentally and physically where you are. Like, I am here, I'm going to be here. Okay. Yeah, listen to that. Natasha said this. Love this. Took me a while to learn because I'm a people pleaser, right? That's where they get you. That's where they get you. And I just don't reply anymore until my office hours. So Samantha's saying, who handles media inquiries if they come in the evening? Well, that's different because, for sure, if the media is contacting you and it's a really short lead, then you would want to get back to them right away. And if it's something you need to loop your client into immediately, like it's an interview, give me a scenario where that would happen. But media contacting you is one thing, because that's going to be a one-off thing. Clients won't come to you. And if a media, if they reach out to you, sometimes they're just playing catch up and working late. Say, is this urgent or can we get back to you in the morning? Okay, so Nelson says, my phone is on till 11 p.m. so the media can reach me, but it sounds like you don't have clients calling you, right? So the clients are not, reaching you all hours. So there is that boundary there. If it's a media inquiry super late and it's timely, reach out to the client. Evening interview requests, and some for evening shows. Day of, is it like day of, get here now kind of thing? Then yeah, absolutely. Not all types of clients have that 24/7 news cycle need. My clients are brands, they're products. Speaking of, okay, I just have a couple so this is my new client. I mean, there's not going to be, I put all the skincare stuff downstairs. This is just hand cream. They're not going to have a burning need at 6 o'clock at night or later than that. That's just not the kind of, but Nelson, it sounds like Samantha, those types of clients, yes, do not make it the norm for clients to have access to you. If media contacts you and it's a quick turnaround like that night, reach out to clients and be proactive, but do not let, Nelson saying he takes their calls. We don't. I just will not, because I've had clients that have done that and you give them an inch and they take a yard. COVID specific media requests late at night. I've trained outlets to text me if it's after hours and urgent. That's awesome. I love that you said I've trained media outlets. Otherwise they'll know to email and I'll reply in the morning. That's great. That's great. She's intentional. Kelly has 7 children, 2 hands, 7 children. So she has to be really careful with her access, and I think that's a really great solution. So she's strategic and intentional about it. Just set those boundaries that are right for you. My boundaries might be different than what is reasonable for you, but I still think, Samantha, that, media requests can come in late, but you shouldn't open up the door 24/7 to clients. That's just, and Nelson says until 11, if he's online until 11, and then he's, and what about weekends, Nelson? Okay, so that's tip 2. Number 3, hire a team to help you, obviously. I mean, come on. But I want you to think about your PR journey in the next year and consider what your life could and would look like if you could outsource your work and delegate to a really great team. You trust them, you really trust them. So you don't need to be, micromanaging. Micromanaging is like stupid because it's a waste of your time. If you're going to micromanage everything, then just do it yourself. Trust your team, hire great people, do a quality check or like a review at 90% of what the work is, what's done, and then, put your 10% and make it perfect, zhuzh it, put your touch on it. But think of your hours as the CEO in your business and how valuable those hours are. Thinking about your hourly rate and what your time is worth. I look at my time and I look at it like it's $1,000 an hour, let's say. Clients don't call me on the weekends, but the media do. And if it's a really good opportunity, I'll reach out to a client. And if it's urgent, like arranging TV, radio, or an interview for Monday. Yeah. So that's an urgent situation. And it's only you reaching out to them and not them coming to you in terms of clients. So that's great. I think that works really well. Probably doesn't disrupt your weekends too often. And it's exciting because there's a really good opportunities if it's radio or TV. So I like that. Anyway, so if your time is worth $250 an hour or $500 an hour, $1,000 an hour, or whatever it is, there are certain things that are not going to be worth your time, like building media lists or doing your accounting or things that just feel like you're working in the drudgery zone, like you don't like it and it sucks the life out of you. This is a recipe for burnout. And if you can pay somebody, obviously a lot less than that, to do those tasks, like possibly, like Miranda does customer service and she's amazing at it and she knows how I would, you need to increase your rate. Oh my God, yes, for sure. Natasha says 150. Yeah, based on your skill level, Natasha, jack it up. Or, you sell a bundle of hours if it's something like we do coaching. For me, it's, we do like one Zoom call in Voxer. Anybody can do it with me, and that's $1,000 a month. So that's how I prioritize my time. If I'm doing like something, building a media list or like creating a graphic that I'm not even good at, I'm spending an hour to do crappy work. You should. Yes, Natasha, increase your rate by $100 an hour. Yeah, this is just what it is, right? Nobody will question that. You just have to confidently be like $250 an hour, 4 hours, $1,000 minimum, blah, 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 and then that's your rate. I promise you. The first time you do it, you'll be like, damn, why didn't I do this sooner? Anyway, so if that is going to drain you and you're going to do like not a great job of it, and you can pay somebody like $100 an hour or whatever to do that thing, think of all of the time and money that you're, saving and actually saving by actually spending the money for somebody to ease that burden from you. Creating social media content, all of that, writing pitches, following up on pitches, tracking samples. No, thanks. I don't want to do that. Reporting, we have a process in place. That's my reporting process and the team does it. Natasha does consulting, but she does work on retainer. If I'm correct about why you take an hourly, it's consulting, and she crushes it for people who come in for consulting, and then sometimes they come in as retainer clients, which is a good strategy for you if you want to get your foot in the door. Yeah. So, bring someone in. And I know that it might sound scary, but it is really the best way to prevent burnout is having a team. The next tip is going to be talking about taking time, vacation breaks, whatever. You need a team in place to be able to do that. And we cover a lot of different strategies in the Agency Accelerator when it comes to scale. And we have, finding team members, the legal and financial concerns involved, and onboarding and offboarding team members and everything in between. So it's just easy. And you have a process to find them and bring them in. And then you train them in your way, or you give them access to the pitch lab and let them learn how you're using that program to serve your clients and save yourself time, and bring in a team so that you can just do the things that you love and not do the things and outsource the things that make you feel dread and suck the life out of you. So think about how you feel when you're doing certain tasks in your business, and when you're like, this sucks, I hate this, or I'm the bottleneck and here's why. Anytime I'm the bottleneck, I know it's because I'm doing something I don't like. So find a way to outsource that, bring in a team. For me, the team does all the pitching, all the media lists. And now I have somebody that's a very senior level that's doing client strategy and project management and client services. So, and we're moving towards a model where I don't even get on calls anymore, client calls, which is great. I have one client, I never talk to them, and they're just so happy. The team's doing a great job. We raised their rate, we're adding services, that they're just happy. So it's good, That's 3. Hire a dream to help you. One of my early mentors said, less Jen equals more money. I was really scared to hire someone because I wasn't making the income I wanted to my very first year. And he said, you will never be able to scale your business by yourself. Never. So hire someone and watch what happens. And that first year of having a team, I experienced, how is this going to look? Quantum growth. Is that backwards? Quantum growth. It's like a hockey stick. So it really does help. And then it really eases into tip number 4. Don't be afraid to take breaks, vacations, time away from your job. I know that when you work for yourself, the thought of time away is really overwhelming. And I know this comes up over the holidays too. When you're on a retainer basis, you might feel like you need to deliver services constantly, like they always have access to you and you're never taking a break. They're going to question. Sometimes they'll ask for, not often, it's never happened to me, but sometimes, usually individuals will say, well, if you're not working the second half, can I have half my retainer? It's so annoying. So no, the answer is no. You're, front loading, you're working on strategy, you're just not reachable during that period. Whatever you have to say, the answer is no. You don't give clients a discount. You deserve to have a break, and you shouldn't, on retainer, have to give back money for that. If you can front load and set yourself up for success while you're sort of off. And the reality is you need to have time away from your business. It's essential to avoiding burnout. So if you hire a team, that will help you easily transition and set yourself up for a vacation or a day off or a long weekend or whatever. And you'll feel really good about that. And you can plan ahead, you can communicate with clients. And the other key here is oh, that's awesome. Well, I mean, it's not awesome. You have COVID, but Natasha said, having COVID the last 14 days has made me realize that my clients are more concerned with me and my well-being over their PR needs. It's been awesome. They have all been so supportive. Yes, that goes back to number 1, niching down, working with clients that light you up, working with clients that you have a great rapport with so that they get it and they're not going to be like crappy to you about it, about being sick or having a baby. I had a client who was like really mean to me about having a baby, and I had a client, like literally my second born, she showed up at the house with a gift under the guise of like, I want to shower you with a baby gift. It was literally her, you guys are going to laugh, like her seconds, like stuff that was damaged, rejected by retailer. I know because I've been in their warehouse. I know what the stuff looks like. It was a basket of seconds. And she was like, look what I brought you. And then she proceeded to stay in my office for 4 hours for a strategy session. And I was nursing my son. I had a nanny here because I had a nanny for my older son. She was running around the house with the screaming baby. My younger son had colic and I couldn't nurse him because this lady was here and would not leave. Oh my God, it was like the worst. And she wanted to assert her dominance and be like, you know what, like, don't get too comfortable thinking that you have this time to yourself. You don't. We're here. You need to be checked into us. And that was how it went. And that was horrible. Eventually I realized I did not have to be under her thumb. And once I started to just, not say yes, and you say jump, I say how high, life got a whole lot better. And then I had another client who was really crappy to a team member when she had a baby. And she had a baby with like horrible complications and was hospitalized and was almost died, my team member, and she was still answering emails. And this client was a monster to her. I fired them. Yeah, hi, nice to see you, Alicia. Or Alicia, how do you say it? Alicia with a long E or with a ish? Tell me. So yeah, that was horrible. So I fired the client because I couldn't. She was like, I can't work with them. They're horrible. Anyway, so you need to remember too that this is the thing, and this is what Natasha is probably getting at with her clients, is that when you plan ahead, you communicate with clients, and you are only working with clients that understand that PR is big picture. It's a long-term strategy. It's not granular, like what happens on a daily basis. Why did you fire your client, Nelson? Tell us. It feels really empowering to fire a client, honestly. I fired a client this year too. Really good client, great results for them. They paid their, really good retainer, but they hired a new person who was our point of contact, and she was horrible. And that's the one who hired the other PR firm. Hi, why do you need another PR firm? Oh, well, you guys are doing such a great job. We thought, one firm is great, two must be double the awesome. We're like, no, that's not how it works. That was just a nightmare. So, yeah, if they understand PR is big picture, it's a long-term strategy, it's a long-term play, they won't care what's happening in the nitty gritty. Oh God, it was such a mess. And that is a great way for you to be able to handle taking time. They'll get it. Nobody's stressing that Natasha's sick. They just care about her as a person and say, get better, do what you need to do, because she does great work, and it doesn't matter when and how it's going to get done, and the results are going to speak for themselves. And it's long-term. It's not, what did you do every single day? That goes back to number one. Take time in your business, but also being able to do that is hiring a team and working with clients that you love and believe in. And then the fifth one is going to be all about boundaries. Setting those boundaries, learning to say no. I know that we often feel as PR pros that we need to be on all the time, and that definitely leads to burnout. And also checking and answering emails as soon as they come in. It's like a Pavlovian response. You see that, like, I have an email right now and I so want to look and see what it is. There's nothing going on right now, but that one in my inbox, I'm like, I got to clear it out. I got to get rid of it. When that is how you're responding to things, first of all, you're giving somebody else priority over your time. You're allowing them to be in charge of your priorities. You're allowing somebody in your inbox to say, this is what you need to focus on now. Not what you want to focus on, but what they're telling you to focus on. So you've lost control. And you have to set those boundaries and learn to say no. That means maybe turning off those notifications. I think even, some of the new computers and software have those do not disturbs where you won't get email. And, maybe eliminating things like social media apps from your phone so you don't see those little notifications, but not checking emails and answering them as soon as they come in, even at night and on the weekend. We just talked about this. That was such a lesson from this pandemic. I went 300 miles per hour in 2020 until I hit such a bad wall. Like, I did not need to overextend like that. So now I just say no if it doesn't serve the client or me. Yes, saying no. And, most of the time these emails are not emergencies. You don't have to answer them. If it is like, a rare opportunity, definitely. That's also going to light you up and be like, look what I did. I did this great thing. But in order to avoid burnout and deliver amazing, really great, stellar PR services, you need to rest. You need to rest. And maybe Natasha is getting sick because she's over exerting herself, working late and stuff. That means setting your boundaries, like stopping work each day. That means checking emails and answering emails and your phone, not working on the weekends except for these rare emergencies, not working while you're on vacation or out of office. It's boundaries that you will have that work best for you to have the right balance in your life of work. I call it integration, work-life integration. Yes, my doctor told me to stop working so late. He totally yelled at me. You need to rest. I mean, rest is like obviously the bare minimum that you can do to get healthy. But, if you're working on a vacation, it's not a vacation. It's just you're physically in an inconvenient place to work. You're sitting in an inconvenient place to work with spotty Wi-Fi. Don't go on vacation. I don't care if you have an ocean view, you're still working. You need to really, really unplug and decompress. So know that boundaries, healthy, normal, necessary. You just need to make sure that you're communicating them and sticking with them. And your team members know they can backfill you. And maybe you just send them a candle. You're just like, candle, can't handle this. And clients too know that you're out of pocket, but your team is there and they're brought up to speed. And here's what we've done. Just feel confident to take it. Nelson says, because it was during the last time, late August in Ontario, Canada, when vaccine passports were being onboarded by the province, my client had a passport ready to go. And because the media was talking about it so much, he expected tons and tons of mainstream media to be wanting to interview him constantly, practically on a daily basis. I told him that it doesn't work that way. His expectations were way too high. So I decided to end the relationship. Yeah. That sounds good. That's where, like, what he's saying is what I always say too. Expectations don't align with what reality is. And if you cannot reframe their expectations or set them appropriately at the beginning, and some clients just cannot ever get aligned, then it's never going to work, and they're always going to be disappointed. And Samantha, I work on vacation too sometimes. It depends. If I'm out of the country, which obviously I'm not like, oh, I'm out of the country all the time. But I did go out of the country a couple of years back and I just didn't answer email. But if I'm somewhere, I'm with my family and I could just pop in for half an hour when they're off doing something else, or it's like, late at night or early in the morning when I'm just kind of on my own, it sometimes actually clears my head, but I'm not working. I'm just checking in, triaging, and getting out, right? Tuck and roll, right? So she said, I've been learning about sleep more this year. Yeah, continued sleep deprivation can permanently damage your brain. I get at least 8 hours of sleep a night, although the puppy is not allowing me the ability. What? So Kelly just said, Natasha, I'm on week 2 of pneumonia because I don't rest like I need to. I struggle so bad with this. I hope you're feeling better. Kelly, that's serious. Did you have COVID? Like, how did you get pneumonia? That's horrible. Is this like walking pneumonia, which I don't even know that sounds better than whatever other pneumonia, but that's really serious. I didn't know. Yikes. How can we help you? This is, you guys, what are we doing to ourselves? Yeah, sleep is so important. My husband and I are very aligned. I just did a Insta story about how I set up the bed because I hate top sheets. I just feel like I'm tangled in this like giant top sheet that just hangs on the floor and it like pulls me down and it's all wrapped up. Or sometimes he'll grab it and he'll roll himself up like a burrito and tuck it under his chin like this. And then, yeah, Kelly, my God. And then I'm like laying there with no blankets on me. And so I ditched the top sheet and I got us individual. So we have a Cal King. I got individual twin extra long down comforters. So they're little and it's like we each have our own and I can wrap myself in it. We call it our little pods. He'll say, do you want to come over to my pod? And I'm like, no, I'm happy in my pod. But it really helps us sleep better because if we're moving around in the middle of the night, we don't wake each other up. And it's been, oh, Jesus. Yeah, doctors are yelling at people for not taking care of themselves. Workaholic, super struggle. Hey, I'm going to rest and not work today. So she and her husband both got pneumonia from sinus infections. Yikes. Hopefully, you guys can knock it out soon. That's horrible. Both parents with 7 kids feeling lousy. Yikes. Everyone buy a Barefoot Dreams blanket. It calls your name and makes you want to wrap yourself up and take time off. Yeah, Natasha just got one and her boyfriend stole it. And so she had to buy like a whole second blanket. And when I had my first client, the challenging client who showed up at my house with all the baby stuff, their biggest competitor was Barefoot Dreams. Yeah, so I'm very familiar. And they're very soft and cozy. So do what you have to do. Take time, set those boundaries. The other thing too is knowing what you want your business to feel like, knowing what kinds of clients you want to work with, allow you to say no confidently when something does not match. When it doesn't align, you can easily say no, and it's not hard to rationalize it. You just know this isn't for me. I just know it. I'll get things that come along and I'm like, nope, clear no for me. So if you have it niched down, that's a huge cause of burnout. Saying yes to every client, every opportunity, every project that arises, every service they're asking you for. You tend to say yes, even though you probably don't enjoy it. So remember, no is a complete sentence. Sometimes you say no and explain it, but no is a complete sentence. There's a lot of reasons to be selective, but especially to avoid burnout, you need to be strategic and focus on work that you love with clients who value you. Yeah, and Gail and Natasha, Nelson, Kelly, and I, we're all conditioned, like Gail is saying, to having to be productive every minute of the day. And I've actually gotten out of that guilt feeling. Sometimes when I'm sick and I'm in bed, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so lazy, just so dumb. But I'll say, well, I feel like I didn't get anything done, or like I wasn't productive. But I realize sometimes just zoning out, vegging out, doing nothing is the best use of my time. It just is. And it'll reset me, and it gets me clear-headed to think about the things that need my attention and that would be exciting for me to jump back into right away. So, I know we have to be productive all the time, but sometimes the best use of your time is just doing literally nothing and resetting. So that's how you can prevent burnout. These are ways to prevent burnout. Hopefully you take time over the holidays and you have a nice time with your family. I'm going to put a link here for a toolkit we've been running for a long time, so a lot of you may already have it. But yeah, I see it. I see it with you guys. Kelly getting pneumonia, Natasha getting COVID again for the 3rd time, even though fully vaccinated, boosted. Aaron got it again. No is one of the first words we learn as children. So why does it get so hard to say it as grown-ups? It's so true. My kid literally all he says to me is no. Do you want to do this? No. Do you want to go outside? No. Do you want to go for a walk? No. Bike ride? No. Do you want to bake cookies? No. No. So, anyway, I feel like we are all pushing ourselves so hard. It's just a really, really draining time. I am here to help you make your life easier, bringing in services and coaching and strategies and things that will just help you shortcut the process on a lot of things, but also to remind you. I mean, there's a huge lesson in the Agency Accelerator all about red flags, so that you can, you trust your gut, you talk yourself out of it. You're like, well, it could be good, or the money could be good, or like, meh. Anytime there's going to be something that sucks and sucks the life out of you, you just talk yourself out of it. So we have a huge lesson on red flags, because I promise you, when you're intentional and you can avoid that stuff from the beginning, and you build a business like based on what you want it to feel like, the money comes. And the energy you have around the niches you love, the ability to tell stories in those niches because you care and you're checked into it, that comes through. I promise you. So, oops, what did I do? That's what I'm here for, is to help you build a business on your terms, one that'll serve the kind of life you want to have. And sometimes we need to be reminded, Kelly, you need to take care of yourself. You're no good for anybody, including clients, if you're having pneumonia and you can't do anything and you're continuing to be sick. And Natasha too. Say no. No, thank you. Or, oh, I'm so sorry, but this doesn't align with our priority. This doesn't align with our priorities. Whatever it is, just get out of it. Tuck and roll. And Natasha's saying that protect your peace is your mantra for 2022. Maybe mine's tuck and roll. Get out of what we don't want to do. Anyway, I really appreciate all of you guys. I will be here next week, I'm pretty sure, on the 30th. Yeah, I do have a Facebook Live. Can't wait for the Profitable PR Pros Mixer on January 6th. Yay. Yeah, we have these mixers. I just want to connect and get together with everybody. Tuck and roll, baby. You can picture yourself doing it, and you can hear yourself like, well, da, 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 and then you just move on. Like, it's what we call with kids distract and redirect. Distract and redirect. Self-care is not selfish. Look at these guys. We should print them on t-shirts. Maybe with my new Cricut. I got that cutting machine. My husband bought me one. It's so fancy and I'm scared of it. I don't know what to do with it. I have all these cool vinyls and self-adhesives. Oh yeah, text it to me. Natasha has a GIF to send to me. Maybe we'll post it in the group. Post it in the group if you can, if it's not inappropriate. Anyway, maybe we print tuck and roll or self-care is not selfish on a mug or a t-shirt. See what we can do. We're talking about doing some merch in the new year. I have some big things we're working on. Big things that I hope I can make happen. I really do. Always thinking bigger. So trying to just build more stuff that's going to be helpful to you guys. So anyway, have a wonderful Christmas. Tuck and roll. That's the new. Everybody in this group's going to be like, I tucked and rolled. And everyone else is going to go what are you talking about? Love tuck and roll. It totally makes me crack up. You can see yourself doing it. It's just a great visual. Anyway, guys, have a wonderful Christmas. Take time. Christmas is on a Saturday. Christmas Eve is on a Friday. It's a really great opportunity for a nice long weekend. Anyway, happy holidays, everyone. Kelly, thank you again for those beautiful flowers and your note. It just really made my day. You're just so awesome. I'm so glad that we found each other. And have a wonderful Christmas, guys. I really appreciate all of you. It's starting to pour rain. Guys, I'll see you soon. Bye.